Plurilock reported Q2 financial statements, so let's go over it. Before I do, this video is disseminated on behalf of Plurilock Security. So if we go to the numbers, what I think is worth pointing out is this: professional services, critical services. Because if we go back and talk about what this investment thesis is about, Plurilock is in a VAR business reselling cybersecurity services, and the idea is to grow the critical services business, professional services, as a more percentage of revenues, because it's a higher margin business, and this would increase profit margins and then eventually get the company to profitability. So if we look at the total revenues for this first 6 months, they were $35.4 million, and $8 million of it was professional services or critical services. The last quarter, last 3 months, it was about $4 million. So $8 million for the first 6 months. We can probably guess that for the year, I mean, of course we can double it, 16 million, but let's be more conservative and say this critical services business is probably between 12 and 14 million dollars per year right now. And so let's put this in perspective. When we started this exercise, look at the professional services where they were in 2021. $500,000. 2022, $740,000. 2023, $2.8 million, and now 2025 we're looking at between 12 and 14, $15 million business. So this business is growing like crazy. If this was a standalone business that grew 31 times X from 2021, would you be excited about a business like this? I think you would. But because Plurilock's stock looks like this, that had this jump to over $2 and then it sold off, now people are not getting excited about anything. They don't care. So now we're looking at a market cap of about $15 million, where one division is going to probably do close to 15 million of revenues, and that division is growing really, really fast, right? So if you sold all the other businesses and just kept this business, it would probably be worth more than the entire market cap, right? But people right now, they don't care. They don't want to look at it. They don't want to get excited. Another thing that people want to choose to ignore is this from the investor presentation. So cybersecurity at the center of modern defense. Think about this. Modern defense, weapons, airplanes, whatever. That's what we think of a modern. That's what we think of a traditional defense. But in today's world, modern defense includes cybersecurity, right? So what they're talking about here, Plurilock is strategically aligned partnership with tier 1 defense integrators or contractors or whatever, and they're talking about NATO. Okay? So let's open our eyes a little bit. These big defense contractors, they bid on defense contracts, big $100 million defense contracts. I mean, what are we? Donald Trump is talking about spending $1 trillion a year on defense, right? So these big defense names are bidding on contracts. Do they have cybersecurity, critical services capabilities in-house? Probably not. That's why it talks about here about different partnerships with tier 1 defense companies. So if you were a defense contractor, I'm talking multi-billion-dollar defense contractor, and you are bidding on $100 million contracts, wouldn't it benefit you? Wouldn't it increase your chances of getting that contract if you came to the bidding table with a partner like Plurilock that can deliver cybersecurity solutions, cybersecurity defense, joint venture, whatever it is? Wouldn't it benefit you? Wouldn't it help you get the contract? Probably. So down the road, it could get really surprising and exciting about the type of opportunities that Plurilock can get involved in, size-wise, that today everybody is ignoring. Because again, 3 inches in front of their face, just like people always do, the chart looks bad. They choose to ignore how fast the critical services component is growing. 31x revenue growth in the last few years. They choose to ignore it because they want to stay bearish. But these are my thoughts on the company.